I'm just gonna go to this page.
All right.
We are technically live now.
Hey.
The ironies it works with Zoom.
It just occurred to me that I should put headphones on.
Yeah.
I'm glad I waited live to do that.
we knew this was how this was gonna go. We know who we are.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I didn't hear anything until you guys were laughing about this is who we are and how this works.
Right? You knew what that meant.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. We are here. Most of us currently. Jay's here in spirit, as in like ghost form, which is just sound.
I'm literally a spirit, yeah.
His camera's doing some real. I think you should just replace him in the video with that glitchy video.
Ooh.
Just loop that.
Yo, I kind of like that.
He's mysterious.
Yeah, I want the glitchy video. I don't know how we get that in here, but that's what I want.
I wish it would just work. Discord seems to like this spinning box thing.
Little spinny box thing.
Yeah.
Just put that spinny box up there. We'll know it's him.
Yeah. Those are so my mannerisms.
Ian, what are we doing?
A live stream. We're live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For the first time at least John and I in 2 years now?
Yeah.
It has been a while. Obviously very different backgrounds. I mean, kind of different. I'm sitting in an orange chair and there's an orange light behind me on the wall. So some things never change.
I have orange curtains.
Yeah.
And Jay is in the void.
I'm in darkness.
Jay is part of the void.
Also, that's also on brand.
So I'm gonna get Jay's spinny circle added as we're talking over this, but yeah. Despite technical issues, so this is like what goes on behind the scenes of when we were doing the podcast. Was just sort of we would record a thing and it would usually go fine. The recording of the thing is usually the easy part, and then afterwards I would just have a litany of technical issues that made me hate editing so much that I was like, I have to stop this. I cannot do this anymore. What? It just stopped. It just was like, nah, you don't get a window capture anymore. Yeah, you can fuck off. So yeah, we decided to do weekly live streams instead. We figured there were quite a few people that used to like our live stream format and used to like hang out with us, and we like the more community nature of that versus just the creator audience nature of like a podcast. I think that's at least for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with either one. It's just this is a lot less backbreaky.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm
like all the
that.
work's in the before section, right? Like all the work is just in the, and then once I hit go, it's just usually go.
It's all downhill from there.
Yeah. But if you had listened to the two previous episodes, the two final episodes of Funbalanced, we were slowly, very slowly, at a crawl, at a snail's pace, working our way through this thing called the Variety Gamer Score, which is 100 video game series, and we were kind of discussing if we had played any game, a game in the series, if we checked it off. I originally thought I had a very decent score. I was very surprised in myself for the number that I had gotten, which turned out to be 51. But I very quickly found out that my number is like nothing, because you both have played everything.
Too much.
Yeah, I run 90 of
too
them. And some of them aren't good.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are just bad. But, we were there. We said we did it.
We did it.
Yeah. So we finished half of it. We got through 50 of the 100 in 2 hour plus long episodes. So we figure in this one we'll probably make it, at least a quarter of the way through this.
Which will make really good viewing for the people that didn't listen to the podcast, jumping in at 50% done.
Yeah. So I did pin a link in the comments for like the PDF if you want to like go through and check yours off as we're doing this. That seems like the easiest way to catch up is just to go through the the front half and get the first 50 out of the way. But yeah, I guess we'll be talking about the other 50. And I am trying to bring Jay's spinny circle in, but it won't open the thing.
Like, yeah, I don't know what. Yeah,
it's cursed.
I reset it. It's cursed. I mean, it wouldn't be.
This is OBS. This isn't a Discord thing. This is OBS just refusing to open the window that lets me do a window capture. And if I click anywhere, yeah,
those concentrated evil when it sees it.
Okay, well there it is. We're living.
Yeah,
doing something.
So we've taken over. Hi everyone, welcome to all of the Discords that I am a part of. Just don't look at those.
Mind your business.
This is so good.
Yeah, this is quality television. I gotta get this lined up perfectly, just in case Jay's face does pop in at some point.
It's gonna be all
directly on center.
I'm going for all nose.
All right,
I'm gonna be zoomed way in.
And so on the other screen, this screen works fine for the hex and me not being able to mask things out. Unfortunately, I can mask mine out, but I can't mask yours out, which in this case works fine because yours is behind mine. But on the play screen, we do have a bit of John showing up in the outside of the frame, if you can see it. But this is also where. Yeah. I gotta crop. This crop is important.
You're like Dr. Nicodet. Hello, everybody.
And then
I'm gonna start doing finger puppets down there.
All right. So on here, I also have our Variety Gamer score, just a blank one that anyone can download if you want. I'm fine. I'm not. I'm on this side. I'm not busting out of the frame. You can't. You see this arm? You'll never see it. You can't see it. Oh, I wonder if you can see. Oh no, the camera can't see. Oh, that's a person. I just looked at a person outside. I am going to die now.
Yeah, they're gonna come find you and kill you.
Now I know he's there.
I tapped on the window because this is part of the story. But I tapped on the window for a reason. I'll get to that reason in a minute. But me tapping on that window made that person just lock eyes with me. And they're just out there walking their dog. And they just were like, what do you want?
What could you possibly need?
Yeah.
I would just burn my house down. Start over.
Well, we may be moving soon, so it's fine. Maybe it'll be okay.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, I want more information about that.
Yeah, we're looking at like houses to rent because purchasing houses is pipe dream. It's for the people who maybe live in Ohio or Florida, but apparently not for people who live in Texas.
No, not those Texas houses.
No.
But yeah, we're looking at a few places where they're going so fast. Like we'll look at a place and it'll already be like, oh no, someone saw it yesterday because it went on the market yesterday, put in an application, and they were already approved. So
I mean, the houses
go like the day that they go up.
The market may get better once you secede from the union.
True. Yeah. Then the international will become a second world country at that point, and so the market will correct itself. But no. So what happened? Not in the moving things, but what happened the other day? The other day, I believe being yesterday, is I was sitting here working, and I hear the sound of glass breaking behind my head. Yeah,
and
so
then Stone Cold came in.
Was it somebody that you looked at out the window?
No, it wasn't that guy. It was so they had big riding mowers going around, right? And like mowing the big area out here with the backyards and the communal path and everything. And what happened was it hit a rock and shot that rock through the first pane of glass in this window, but not the second pane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there is a big circular hole in this window. It's broken, and then inside the two panes of glass, there's a bunch of glass, and then there is the rock that hit it.
Nice. Got a souvenir.
Yeah, it was very much it was my Final Destination moment where I'm like, boy, if I turn around too fast, I'm gonna like slip and impale myself on a Buddha or something. I forget how those movies work.
A log truck will come by and finish you off. It's like Optimus Prime.
Yeah, it's just going to be a long, like, what are those machines where, like, one thing knots into another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Bill Goldberg machine.
Bill Goldberg.
He eats corn on the cob long ways.
This is the worst and most accurate thing I've ever heard.
That's such a random thing to pop up in like a 1996 WCW show.
Yeah.
Just someone holding a sign that says that. It's like, what? Why? You wrote that out and you brought it to this show. Okay, I see.
Someone in security looked at it and went like, "Yeah, you go through."
Okay with me. He obviously knows him. Like he's been in the room when he's ate corn, so
yeah.
Security guard seen it. He knows what's up.
I've seen it all.
But yeah, Vigi games. We have another 25 we can maybe get through.
Yeah, let's stop beating around the bush.
Yeah, I mean, we got through a lot of the good ones.
There's still some good ones.
There are still some.
There's a lot of good ones left.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably all right.
There's a couple in here that you and I have played together, Ian.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's
Dragon Quest?
I've played a few of them. It was actually one of the first RPGs I ever played. I got it free for subscribing to Nintendo Power magazine. And I got like the first issue of Nintendo Power and a copy of Dragon Quest.
Okay.
And it was really good. I mean, I loved it. I've played some of the newer ones. They're JRPGs through and through. If you don't love JRPGs, you're not going to love it.
That's correct. And Ian, where do you fall on that?
I have played 0 Dragon Quests. Those sound like JRPGs, as in ones that Jay will play, but not me.
Yes. Yeah. I think Ian. I think high school Ian may have been interested in him, but today's Ian not at all.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't handle faffing about. I do not understand. Oh my god, I need to uncork this before it explodes in my brain and like causes me to have an aneurysm. Because I've been wanting to talk to John specifically about this, and you, Jay, because I assumed that you had also been playing it. But like, why the fuck did either or both of you recommend Midnight Suns to me?
Because it's fantastic. I'm still playing it. I just played it this afternoon.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you about my experience with this game.
Yay.
So when it came up, there was like that free weekend or whatever that it was doing. Like it's free on Steam this weekend, and then it was on sale. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to download it. Maybe I'll play it on Steam Deck or something, right? Sure. And then if I like it, I'll probably just end up buying it. Because like my best option is I can just play it for free for a bit, see if it's the thing that I'll like I think it is, and then if it is, I'll just buy it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is I load into the game, and I get into a cutscene, which is fine. Games have opening cutscenes. That's, you know what? Cool. I then get to make a character after like 10 minutes of cutscene. There's a character creator. Create a character. Again, par for the course. I am fine. I'm fine with this. The first like instance of me actually getting to play the game is like a half-step tutorial, walk you through here's how to do the stuff, right? And then after like every single thing that you do, there's like a cutscene. And I'm like, okay, it's a lot of cutscenes so far. But I'm like, once it's just gonna let me go, and that's where I'm just gonna run off, right? I'm gonna run off and do things. You get to the house, it's a cutscene. You talk to the people, it's a cutscene. And then your first instance of like, okay, now you can go do a mission is like, here's your room, cutscene, change your wardrobe, cutscene. Okay, now you can go do a mission, cutscene. I walk to the table to like choose the mission, right? And I have a cutscene. And then it cuts back to me so I can pick a mission. There's only one fucking mission. There's only one mission I can do. Why did you spit me back out? And I picked the mission. Another 5-minute long cutscene happens.
They wanted to see
how to
if,
pick missions.
they wanted to see if you picked the same one.
So I pick a mission, and it goes back into a cutscene. And then I exit the cutscene, right? And I'm like, or I was like, okay, into the cutscene, cool. Let's get to the mission. Bam, we're in there. Not what fucking happens. What fucking happens is it puts me out of the cutscene. It's like, you need to walk outside. I walk outside, another cutscene.
Yeah.
I walk 5 actual literal feet to the outside of this place. It's a cutscene. And then it's like, all right, well, now we need to get you to the mission. Walk over to where this portal's going to be. So I walk another 5 feet, cutscene.
Yeah, it's great. They're really good cutscenes.
And then it talks about magic. Magic's going to open up the portal. Magic opens up the portal in a cutscene. It cuts to me. I have to walk through the portal. I walk through the portal. It goes to another cutscene. And then it pops me out of the cutscene to walk forward 2 more steps. And then I go into another fucking cutscene.
Magic was like cool, though, right?
27 cutscenes and me walking literally less than 5 steps between them before I got to play the first mission of the game. And I was absolutely done by the time that mission was over. I was like, I can't handle this. This is the definition.
Oh, you were done with
cutscenes
cutscenes after that. You were done with
out.
I wasn't, because I was in the middle of watching like a 15-minute long one when I was like, I'm done.
You just turned it off in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was so much of doing nothing to do nothing to get a cutscene to tell me to go do nothing again before I could do anything. And it wasn't even like tutorial. Like it wasn't like, this wasn't a tutorial of telling me how to walk. It was literally giving me the reins to the character to make them walk outside so that I could get into another cutscene, and then giving me the reins to the character back to let me walk over to the place I should have already been walking to. And then once I was in that place, I literally just walk forward until I get to the exit of the portal, and then it spits me out again. I was like, what is this game trying to do to me?
I mean, it's trying to entertain you.
It's doing a bad job!
Nah, I've been very entertained.
It's the definition of like, this meeting could have been an email. Like, it's that, but for a video game. Like, this user, me doing this could have just been in the cutscene. Just walk me forward.
Yes. I don't disagree with that. I mean, there is a copious amount of cutscenes. Yeah. But I also try to balance that with knowing that, you know, they want people who aren't historic Marvel fans to play this game as well. So, like, they need to build the universe and explain things. Like, I don't think it's any worse than like most other AAA games I've played in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We're up to the part where I get into the actual mission, right? Scarlet Witch needs help. I have to go help her. We are outside of Sanctum Sanctorum, and we had to fight some baddies because she's inside Sanctum Sanctorum, and we can't get in there. So we have to fight some baddies, right? There, we start fighting baddies. There's waves of them or whatever. We end up. This is like the first mission, so we end up fighting an evil Venom. And there's a cutscene that happens somewhere in the middle of this of Scarlet Witch inside Sanctum Sanctorum being abducted by the main bad guy. It's not clear. It just shows her showing up inside Sanctum Sanctorum, and that's the end of the cutscene. And then we're fighting Venom, and Spider-Man shows up and swings off, and Venom chases Spider-Man. And then it cuts back to us coming back from the mission. At no point does anyone in any of the cutscenes or the game communicate with anyone inside Sanctum Sanctorum to show that they know that this happened. They just come back from the mission and they're like, yeah, bummer. Like, what do you mean bummer? You don't know what happened. You never got in there. You just came back. Venom left, and you're like, all right, I guess we're out of here too.
I mean, I don't remember the intro to the game at this point, so I can't.
It was long. It was long. And there was a lot of cutscenes. But I think John and I, when you're talking to John and I about this, we were well past that. And not only that, we obviously have some knowledge of this, and we're pushing kind of through it, you know. And we got to the other side, and we were enjoying the other side. There's a lot of exploration. The combat's fun.
For the love of God, I do not want to run around the castle. I don't want to run around the castle. I don't want to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
It is big. There is a lot to run around and see there, though.
And there's some really fun puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
And really good world building.
I've spent a lot of time just running around that castle, like doing different.
I do remember when I gave up. I had to go down and break some stuff, or turn in this stuff to Iron Man, who was gonna make it cool, and then he did a thing and some stupid collectible thing I had to do. And then after I did that, I then had to go to Blade to get a card upgrade. And all of this, I feel like, is very much just outside of the realm of things that I want to do in a deck building card game. All of that stuff was just AAA trying to throw AAA at a system that I don't think needed it.
I don't know. I think all those systems are really good.
Right, but it's kind of like the Slay the Spire board game is not going to be as good as Slay the Spire the video game, because it's going to make you do a bunch of stuff that Slay the Spire didn't make you do. Marvel Midnight Suns is making me do a bunch of stuff I didn't need to do to play a card deck builder.
I mean, I don't know which one of those things, like crafting cards and that other stuff, is all kind of necessary.
O'Reilly says just wait until there's cutscenes within cutscenes. It gets very Inception-like. No. I mean, be a cutscene to a flashback within the cutscene.
There's definitely a lot of cutscenes, but there's also cool little things that you can do that just made me enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Every single time a comic cover comes up, I spend forever messing with it.
Oh yeah, they're super fun to make.
Love that. Yeah.
And I really liked the. I mean, just the storyline, the combat is just so good, especially later on when you start firing when you start fighting the hell spawns that give you extra actions when you kill them. You just feel super powerful. The art is so incredible. And I think it's easily one of my favorite superhero videos.
I cannot spend 20 hours getting to the arc. I can't. That's what that game wants me to do, and it's not anything I want to do.
All that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I was playing it because I wanted that experience all the way through. So, I'm not bothered by the fact that I'm still playing it, and in little like 1 hour chunks.
I'm only irrationally angry because I wanted to like it a lot. In general, I'm glad that I got to play it on like a free weekend to discover that it was a thing that wasn't for me without like having paid for it. So like I'm glad that they like I'm sure they got a ton of sales for having it free for the weekend. I was not one of them, but I do like when companies do that. I also played Diablo 4, which I'm not going to talk about now because we'll probably talk about it in like let's see, probably 6 minutes if I have to look at this list and get some time.
Yeah, let me look. Let's hold off on that because I want to talk about that a lot, like a lot.
But yeah, so I'm glad that I was able to play it and have for me a bad experience, but an experience that I was just like I was comically annoyed, which I think is fine. And for a thing that I did not have to pay for, so it's good.
Best case scenario for you.
Yeah.
Hey,
John, you played Halo?
What's that? I played a Halo. I played the first Halo, and that's it.
I was like, easy segue. Let's talk about. We've been talking about not Dragon Quest for 15 minutes.
But we were talking about fapping about, which is on top.
Yeah, that was all to say that no, I have not played the Dragon Quest game.
Ian does not like faffing at all.
You know, he's never been a fapper.
Yeah, I don't faff about except for when it comes to going off topic, and then it's all faff.
It's all faff.
The faffening. All right, but Halo. I think we've all played Halo, right?
Yeah, I've played a lot of Halo.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the like
a good one
co-op. No, I mean Halo Infinite, the multiplayer. I've played the multiplayer of Halo of the newest one, and it's fun. Like it's that classic Halo fun, with like some new toys that you get to play with. So I played that quite a bit. By quite a bit, I mean probably for less than 3 hours total. But I wanted to play through the campaign. I just was waiting until they unlock like co-op. Because right now it's just you can go through single player. Like there's not a multiplayer for it. Once they release multiplayer, some of my favorite things were just was co-op Halo. Like many hours of my childhood was co-op Halo.
I mean, the multiplayer could have been good, but they really just dropped the ball for Infinite. Like there might not have even been a ball. They might have just been digging a hole in the backyard
with it. Yeah.
But
I think they're not doing local co-op, correct? Like that's only going to be online.
Believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they cut it down. But it had such a promising start, and like looking back, I know like Halo 1 was super powerful. Halo 2 was like kind of god tier, you know. And Halo 3 is where it started to fall apart for me. I think Call of Duty kind of hit the scene, and I was like, man, I'm having exciting moments over here. I'm having that in-game moment in Halo.
You didn't
like
live with
you
didn't live with my stepbrothers, so yeah, you would be playing any game that wasn't Halo 3. That was it was a very Halo 3 household in the years after that came out, where we would just play split screen all the time. And I got annoyingly good at it, I would say, just because my stepbrothers were annoyingly good at it, and so, you know, iron sharpens iron, or whatever that fucking phrase is.
It's something like that.
Yeah, you were forced to be better.
Yeah.
All right. So we've all played Halo. GTA.
Yeah, I mean, when the first one came out, I remember playing it on my 486, I think, like way back in the day. And I mean, that first one held up even around 99 or 2000 when I was working in tech support. Like we would, just play it. Like if there was any downtime in the office, we would fire up multiplayer and run around and kill each other.
What a different game those first three games were. You know, you have GTA, GTA 2, and then you have London 1969. And it really felt like an indie game.
Yeah.
and it was magical. And then 3 hit the scene and busted the whole thing wide open. Yeah, and I've played, I think, probably every GTA game, even the bad ones. Even the bad ones.
Did you play the remasters?
Yeah, I played. Yeah, even the remaster, San Andreas remaster, it was, you couldn't even see in the rain. It was terrible.
It was so bad.
But I was talking about like Vice City stories, like the PSP stuff. It's like they had no earthly business being over there, kind of. But
Oh, I'm assuming talking about Halo, Clara said that she still had the best kill, and that's probably true.
maybe Pixar didn't happen. You know the rules. But yeah, GTA. I when we did our rundown of MGI's best game of the last decade, that one was my pick, and it's because I love that story. That single player story it was perfection for me.
Yeah, I played through quite a bit of the single player story for GTA 5 just because it was really refreshing to just like go through to multiple characters and not in like the normal way. I don't know if there was games before it where it was like, all right, I'm going to switch to this character and run around as them for a bit and experience new story stuff for them. Okay, now I'm going to switch back over to this character, and then we also team up as in, and you can play as whatever characters in those missions. So that was like novel and cool, and I think it's still not a thing that a lot of games do.
And they like straight up live tested that. They're like, here's GTA 4, where you play as Nico Bellic. And then you have The Lost in the Dam, you have The Ballad of Gay Tony, and all of those intersect. They're all going after the exact same thing. And they're intersecting each other's story, and it was like DLCs that came after 4. And it was like Rockstar, hey, can we do this? And then 5 was like, we sure as hell can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it was like they created the perfect storm. And man, GTA 5's been out how long? It's been across...
It's been on how many? It's been
all of
released
them.
How many times?
Yeah,
second only to probably Skyrim.
I think so.
It's crazy, and I think we have some news about GTA 6 stuff that was leaked, so I'm kind of being cautious with that.
However long it takes, I'm fine. Like, take your time.
Yeah, it's fine. I want that single player fix.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be monetized like crazy, seeing how they've just monetized the shit out of 5, though.
I really hope they see the writing on the wall of if they break 5 and online apart, that online will be successful, and then they can continue to nail those people that are picking up the single player story as well. I mean, because if I'm picking up the single player story, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna get some of this cool stuff for online, and we did all these updates since you played last." I'll check it out.
I feel like expecting a video game company to do something good for the fans is maybe a far reach.
It probably is, but I don't know. I hope they can see that and kind of do the right thing for their community. I think longevity, like in the long run, that'll help them.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a lot of times it depends on who owns the company, right? Like,
and
if it's a company that's owned by another company, then that's usually like any of the ones that like big, PlayStation or Microsoft has like purchased and scooped up into their maws, into their big money where they shovel money into their bellies. They scooped them up into there.
So much like Rockstar is owned by Take-Two.
Yeah. So those are the ones you worry about, right? Like the studios that like are just by themselves, they're just like, yeah, we'll do the thing that makes the most sense for the game. Whereas those big companies, are just like, we'll do the thing that puts as much money into my pocket, being the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're going through some changes too. The Hausers. One of them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go on vacation. You know that vacation? I'm never coming back."
Yeah.
So it, we'll see. I kind of worry about 6 single player because of that dynamic's broken. It would be like watching something like South Park without like Matt or Trey. It's just one of them doing it. So it's kind of, how's that going to work?
Yeah,
Claire says they would rather. Oh, we have a comment. Claire says they would have rather seen them do more with RDO instead of GTA. To be honest.
Yeah, we talked about Red Dead in the last one. Yeah, it was in the second
Seems
column.
like it. Ages ago.
Yeah, that was.
But I don't know that we really touched on Red Dead Online. Red Dead Online was fun. Like,
yeah,
it in like the way that GTA is fun, but then you also have ground it in this Western setting, and so the role play of it is, I think, elevated rather than just like, I'm a person who lives in basically LA. It's like, I'm a Wild West person. There's just more character to it. So I think I agree. I think I would love to see them like do more Red Dead Online stuff, because that feels like the more immersive experience.
And you can just hunt. Hunting in Red Dead Online that was so fun for me in Red Dead Redemption. So, dang.
I have played some hours of Red Dead Redemption 2. We went over this. It's fine. It's I marked it. I played the first one a little bit. I played a little bit of the second one.
All right, let's get off Rockstar and on to Blizzard. Diablo.
Oof.
Yeah.
What?
The verbiage on that one. Everyone appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Diablo, though. Yeah, I mean, they just had their Diablo 4 beta. Diablo 2, it would probably be in the conversation for one of the best games ever. People love and still play that. I mean, they just re-released it. And I picked it up. I again, having fun with it again. What about you guys?
I played a lot of Diablo 3.
Okay.
Because that was the one that came to consoles. Like, that was that was the reason. Is there was just like 3 of us just run around on a console playing Diablo. I played a little bit of Diablo 2. Really, my experience with Diablo 2 was being like, yeah, I'm gonna go play Torchlight 2 instead.
Yeah, why does this look like shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I played a lot of Diablo 1, but I kind of gave up after that.
Yeah, I think the most I played was Diablo 2, and I played some 3. I didn't like 3. I don't know what it was. It felt like a different
I tried to play 3 like more recently with one of my kids, and I mean, it was just so much of a slog. Like, it's all the faffing about that Ian hates.
Yeah.
See, I faffing about by yourself is my issue. Faffing about with others, that's just fun usually.
Oh, that's why I find it heinous.
Oh, I remember playing Diablo 3 a bunch because I was a monk and I would just continually like teleport punch, and it would like, I would teleport to the person, punch them, and then I had this thing where it would knock them back. So like, it would knock them back, I'd teleport to them again, punch them, and so everyone else was like fighting in this like little circle, and I am just like almost 2 screens away, just punching this one person repeatedly, just across the map for no reason. And I'm like, wait, I gotta come back, and so I start like teleport punching my way back. So I remember it because it was ridiculous. But yeah, it is like, I never beat it. Like, it was definitely a grind, and at some point we just stopped.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Is this the part where we talk about Diablo 4?
Yeah, let's talk about the beta, the Diablo 4 beta.
If it is anything like the beta, Diablo 4 fucking rules.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. Yes,
I was having so much fun with it, and
well, what did you play?
I was a druid, because Kasima told me to be a druid, so I was like, okay.
I like your style.
And so I played a little bit on my own. I played like up to level 5 or something on my own. And then I had told Julia, I was like, apparently the multiplayer is like really easy to like jump in. So if you want to try it out, then we can. And then Julia and I ended up playing until we were both like level 10. And then that was just like the end of the beta that we had. So we kind of just ran out of time, or I assume we would have played more. I am probably going to pick it up when it comes out. It has hands down the best integrated multiplayer that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it. So I was playing on PlayStation, so I was on PS5, and I log in, right, get in whatever queue or whatever, I'm in the game, and then you turn on the other controller. Julia logs into her profile, and then it's just like, hey, a controller turned on. Hit the options button to join in. Well, that's not Jay. That's me. I'm talking. Hold on, I gotta zoom over to Jay. Yeah, so you hit the options button, and then that's it, and then you're just in.
Yeah.
Like, and the other player just joins. Like, the other player just chooses, like, oh, do I, like, a new character or create a character or join in with a normal character, and then they just bloop, and they're there. It is like 2 screens, and that's multiplayer, local. And I'm like, this is the best. I want every fucking game to have this, and I'm so mad.
I feel like I've played a lot of games like that. That doesn't sound that.
Where the second player just hits the button and they're in. Normally you have to this is at any time. I'm not talking about like, oh, you're in the menu and you hop in before you jump in.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Literally just bloop.
Yeah, Joan and I play so much couch co-op. That's real common.
So, listening to how easy you had that, I do have a story, but I do want to point to our chat where Claire said you're only allowed to play bards, and then wait, is there really bards?
Not yet.
No,
I don't know.
No, not yet. It's all those like standard classes. What you have a barbarian, necromancer, rogue, sorcerer, druid. Is that it? Is that all?
I was looking and see. There's 5 classes according to this.
That's all of them then. Yeah.
Julia played necromancer, and so she would just go around making friends, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, time to make some friends.
So my experience for teaming up with somebody started probably about a week before the beta started. With one of our friends, I was like, yo, are we going to play? And they're like, we're going to play. I'm like, cool. And then the next day, I was like, yeah, I have it all installed. We're ready to go. I was going to play on PC. I wanted to see what that experience was like. Downloaded it on PS5 as well. I just wanted to see like integration and the differences. And they go, we're playing on PC, right? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, I can't find my authenticator. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought you played like World of Warcraft like 2 weeks ago. And they're like, no, I haven't played in like a year and a half. And I was like, and you still have a keychain authenticator? They're like, yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? What year is this? We bought those in like 2003. Okay, it's amazing that it still works. I know he never changed the battery. So he's going through and he's trying to recover this account. And it's coming back and saying, okay, so what is the last purchase that you made during Wrath of the Lynch King in like 2006? And he's like, what? And it was like he sent me screenshots of these very specific transactional questions, like what was the cost of it, what was purchased, and it just literally no way. And he's like, I'm fully locked out. I'm gonna need extra help from somebody. So couldn't play on PC. and it came down to the day of. I had already started playing and dealing with some of the wait times like early on, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna download it on PS5." So I got to like level 5, and then when I pleasantly surprised turned on the PS5, all of my character and information was there, and I was like, "Oh, that's what I like to see."
Yeah.
Oh, that made me real happy. So that's a cool option, I guess. If someone wants to buy the game twice and they're unsure where they want to play it. pretty cool. But yeah, the integration was quick as soon as we got and like on PlayStation. Yeah, it was just like you said, Ian. Press the button, we were good to go.
I can see myself playing it a lot when it comes out because I like it. The drop in co-op. I think my issue with co-op is a lot of times the games that I found recently just don't have couch co-op. Like we tried Tribes of Midgard, but that involved me being in the living room on the PS5 and Julia being in the bedroom on the PS4 to play it. And then so I have to like send an invite. They got to find the invite, load in. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, maybe go over here. Okay, now we do this, and that's all before you get into the game. Whereas Diablo 4 was just sort of like, boop, bing, hey.
I mean, I feel like it's criminal how few couch co-op games we get anymore.
Yeah,
Dying Art.
Like and they're all very similar. Like we're getting a lot of, couch co-op, like Overcooked. Like those are a dime a dozen, but like unique couch experiences are pretty rough.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I still need to play It Takes Two. I've heard it's really good, and it's specifically couch co-op, and I've just been like waiting to just not play it, I guess.
Yeah, Yossi Ferris's games are. I mean, there's a way out. There's is it Brothers as well? I think is what it's called. And
Project Tango is fantastic too.
Yep. But yeah, his game specifically, he's like, I feel like that guy's just like a fan of couch co-op as well.
Yeah. It Takes Two is one of my games of the year for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're making bad time. How about Assassin's Creed?
Claire says I miss good couch co-op. Yeah, it's a dying art to not have to buy the game multiple times, which is a bummer.
And that was the really cool thing about It Takes Two and Project Tango. They both had guest pass accessibility. So if the other person just had the demo and you had the full game, you could play co-op with it, which is really smart.
But no, I've never played one of the 600 Assassin's Creed games.
No.
I played it.
No, I've played like all.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Oh my god.
I played a fair amount of the Viking one, and then I just realized that I hated everything about what I was doing and just stopped.
One of us. Yeah.
There's so much like micromanagement bullshit and like gathering stuff. Like it was
those are the ones I didn't play.
World. Yeah.
I got out at like Assassin's Creed 2, and I was like, all right, I played the first two, cool. These are pretty fun, and then they started doing other things, and I'm like, getting real close to the things I don't like about games.
It just, man, it's such a. They're like, we have all these new things. There's a lack of innovation.
Yeah,
it's so like the Valhalla. That idea, that concept on paper, is money. But then you get into this world, and it's like a big empty world. Like go from point A to point B. There's no point to the journey.
It's so much running through empty spaces with nothing to do.
Is this it's the same company that it's the same parent company that did Shadows of Mordor, right? Like the Mordor ones?
Maybe.
I'm not too sure.
Is it owned by Ubisoft? I don't know.
Shadows of Mordor, those games, the Middle Earth games, are
another Monolith, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing is like, again, there's so much cool stuff, no innovation. Is like the Nemesis system from the Mordor games. They copyrighted it, right, and just like put a death grip on it, and didn't use it anywhere. Except for apparently in, I think maybe one of the Assassin's Creed games, one of the many like 100 systems, is that you have these like assassins that are like after you. And like those, they have a sort of like similar hierarchy system as like the Mordor games. And if that's true, that's awesome. But I'm not playing the rest of the fucking game just to get that.
Yeah, I don't recall that. And I mean, we did have a Switch with Origins. And I mean, that one might have been like one of the best recent games. It was because it was completely different. They went from your standard Assassin's Creed to more of like an RPG style with like loot and things like that. You can outfit yourself. It like gave you a reason to kind of defeat people.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like you're just looking for your one mark and you're fighting your way to him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I used to do the system where like and it started. I played 1, I really enjoyed it. I played 2, I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't enjoy the 2 that came after that, Brotherhood of Revelation. I didn't enjoy 2 like at all. But then I enjoyed 3. So I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna skip every other one. And Valhalla fucked me. What happened?
My friend John Glenn is in the comments. He says that their score is 52, which is
it's one better than me.
Respectable.
You beat me by 1.
Yours is not respectable. 52 was the mark you had to hit.
Oh, that's the
Sorry.
cutoff? Dang.
Yeah.
Claire says SEO was my favorite. No Name says Connor Kenway all the way. Claire also said like Kane and Lynch. I'm assuming talking about the couch co-op and not the favorite Assassin's Creed character being Kane
and Lynch. I don't believe is on here. Has one of the best twists. The first Kane and Lynch. It's one of my favorite memories of playing video games. Couch co-op.
Is that it? Actually, an Assassin's Creed game?
No.
I'm so confused.
Kane and Lynch is like a buddy cop movie if they were both drug dealers.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like Army of Two, but you see their faces, and it's the twist in the first one that you're like you think you're playing Kane the whole time. It turns out, I'm actually Lynch. They just have never said each other's. They just say their own names all the time.
I don't recall that.
No.
I just the twist at the end of where you've been playing with your friend this entire time, and your mission updates, and your missions are different. And it's like a heart sinking, like, okay, I gotta go, and then your friend is like, hey, I have a mission to do something too, and only one of us can win.
Yeah.
So the whole ending of the game can be just impacted in that moment, just that split second kind of decision. Great game. Did we talk enough about Assassin's Creed, or do we need to bash on it a bit more?
No, I think we're good. They're fine.
All right, Metroid.
I played a lot of Metroids, the original, the Super Net Metroid. I didn't care for the GameCube or not the GameCube, but the Nintendo 64 Metroids, or the GameCube, whichever one it was. Whenever they went 3D, I didn't care for them as much.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I played all of mine on pretty much the Game Boy.
Yeah. I have not played a Metroid game as far as I remember.
That's because you're not a Nintendo boy.
You know, the whole conceit of those games is like, hey, you know this area that you just went through? You're going to come back and have to go through here again. And that is very much anti-Ian.
Ian, how many games have you played that have their own genre of sub-games? Like, Metroidvanias are huge because Metroid's fantastic.
Yeah, and they just smashed it up with the term Castlevania because those two games did the same thing, apparently.
They did. I mean, they did similar. The Castlevania part is a little bit different, but yeah.
I don't know. They just felt like by the time that I could have played them, they were like there was like the first person one, and first person shooting and backtracking on a controller that doesn't want you to play a shooter. It seemed like a thing I didn't want to do.
No,
the GameCube controller was good for shooters.
It was. That one was
the Nintendo 64 was not.
Tell me what the C stick is for.
Julia's out there yelling in the living room right now. Like, no, it is too. It's great for shooters. As she's beating everyone at GoldenEye to death with the controller.
Yeah.
Okay, James, you played
both Kane and Lynch games in the same night, Ian. Yeah, I think we did, actually. I think we just had a night where we just played both Kane and Lynch games. So they kind of blur together because I forgot there was two of them.
The other one, the second one was like more neon, like very like downtown Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jim says the best multiplayer game ever made was Link Four Swords because I'm able to grab my teammates and throw them, which is the most Jim thing I've ever heard.
I like Jim.
Yeah, Jim makes every board game competitive, even if it's cooperative.
Yeah, every co-op is a semi-co-op if you're playing with Jim. Jim, it worked. Famously, Jim, it worked until it didn't. Shock.
Claire said Marvel Ultimate Alliance, a lot of people can be thrown, which is also true.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, no, I played some Metroid. Most of them were early 2D Metroid. I haven't jumped into like what we just had Metroid Dread come out last year. I think it was last year. Might have been.
Yeah. I think Jonah, my son, played Metroid Dread. I haven't yet, but it looked really good.
I heard great things. Yeah. And really getting back to those core mechanics. So I don't know if you can really do wrong with that.
Yeah. So BioShock. This one kind of surprised me is on the list.
Yeah?
I mean, because BioShock 2 is essentially BioShock 1 plus.
Yeah, but there's Infinite, right? There's 3 in the.
There is.
Right, so if you eliminate 2, then there's 2.
I've played the best BioShock game. That is obviously BioShock Infinite. Although I did just watch a video yesterday by Rasputin on YouTube, who is just talking about how he went back and played that, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't like it playing back through, and I kind of wish I didn't play back through it." So I'm like, "Yeah, I think maybe my memory of that is gonna be soiled by the reality of what that game was."
Yeah, don't play it again. Leave it where it's at. Like, I wish I could get.
I never planned on it.
I know you didn't.
I was never.
I wish if I could mobilize a few people and revitalize Austin and I had with MGI, we did a whole series on Witcher, and BioShock was on that list where it's like we just basically explain what happens in the early Witcher games. And we're like, don't play those god awful piece of shit games. They're terrible. Especially Witcher 1. But yeah, I think BioShock could use that. Yeah, I've played all of them.
I mean, kind of outside of the BioShock series, but I really love Deathloop as well. Yeah. It shared a lot of DNA with BioShock. And somebody mentioned the Judas Project. I think that's what it's called. One of their upcoming games that looks fantastic.
Yeah, and they've switched over. Irrational was the team behind BioShock, and we got the basically whatever is left of that, and then some working on the Judas Project under Ghost Story Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably in the majority. I like 1. I didn't really like 2, and I loved Infinite. I know there are some people out there that really liked 2. Just wasn't for me.
I thought it was fine. It was just more of the same. Like, I don't think it did anything new. It was just more content.
I realize that the chat just has not updated this whole time, which seems weird.
That's all right. I've been watching it.
Sorry, guys.
Adam had the same problem I had originally. He had a screen open that said we weren't here yet, but then I clicked onto the channel. It was something weird, but hey, Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, he missed a bit, but I mean, nothing major. We talked about Dragon Quest, Halo, GTA, Diablo, Assassin's Creed, Metroid. We just talked about BioShock, and Ian complained about Midnight Suns for half an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we really talk about Dragon Quest? I don't think we talked about Dragon Quest.
No, we mentioned Dragon Quest. He said, that's bullshit. Let me tell you about Midnight Suns and why I hate it.
Yeah. It was a riveting conversation.
John asked if anybody played Elder Scrolls Battlespire. I haven't. Is that a card game?
Let me look that one up. Nope, I never played Battlespire. That one was a 1997 release.
No, I didn't. I think it was 3D, but almost turn-based, right? Like the original Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, I think it was more like that. You know, you're looking down the hallway and you progress down the hallway, but they turned that into 3D.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Never played that one though.
Why does our chat not work? I don't know.
I remember having an issue with that before. We might have to troubleshoot that. Since this is our first, hopefully nobody's gonna forgive us.
There's definitely nothing else that we need to troubleshoot about our setup. So we definitely don't have hexes that don't work.
We nailed it.
Perfectly fine.
Everything's fine.
What's insulting about the camera, I want to talk about this for a second, is that the camera is looking right at me and it has this blue like ring around both sides that indicates that it's working. It just doesn't have the guts to do it.
Well, let's get through a couple.
Damn it, Jay.
Just leave it there. Just leave it there. I'm testing it. Nope, still hates us.
Still no.
All right, we gotta move through these. Mass Effect. No.
Yes.
Yes. They're good. Good RPGs.
Great RPGs, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say this is my favorite RPG on the Citadel, but yeah, it's a great story. I really loved the tip of the iceberg moment that the Mass Effect games had. You're just like, I beat the big bad, and they're just like, the fuck you did.
No, I didn't play. What's the one that had the ending that everyone hated? Was that 3?
3.
Yeah, I haven't finished 3, and I bought the
end of the whole series.
Remastered.
It's like, whoops.
I bought the remastered collection with the intention of replaying them all, and did not get that far.
Yeah, I haven't went back and played them for some time. I assume that they play. I don't know. Knights of the Old Republic plays well still. Yeah, I played that. I think it was like a year ago. And I was like, yeah, I could sit down and play this whole thing again. The nostalgia strikes me. The gameplay is not the worst. And I assume Mass Effect's probably along the same lines. You know, it feels dated, but still solid.
Big.
There you go.
Chat's here.
Chat's here.
You did it.
They're a little bit off.
Eh.
On the screen. I don't mean as people. You're all wonderful.
Ian just insults our entire fan base.
I don't know how big that is on the actual screen. I have it on like a tiny, so I don't know if that's even fucking readable.
I mean, it's tiny on ours because we're looking at it in in Discord.
Yeah,
people behind the curtain, their view of me is this window, but like the whole OBS window is all they see.
It's about that big.
Now the stream looks good, you know, if you have it like full screened or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're playing this on your TV, you can read it.
If you're watching this on your phone, too bad. Go to a TV.
Enjoy the audio experience.
The next game really surprised me. How about Star Fox?
Yeah, again, some of these I'm just like, why are these? I know it's in there. It's like it's a beloved franchise for Nintendo and no one else.
Well, and I mean, there are 3 Star Fox games.
That's
only
it?
2 of them, I think, were released in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I just thought it was like because he was included in Smash Brothers. You know, I thought like 5 or 6 games was that 3. What the fuck?
It's the same number as BioShock, though. We're in this, and Mass Effect. Like, we're in this weird chunk of this. And The Last of Us is fucking bonkers, too.
Yeah, because there's 2 games.
Yeah. 3. There's 3 games. They had that, like, standalone second follow-up to the first one that was also a DLC, but could be played by itself.
Oh, that was originally just a DLC. Like, I don't think that was supposed to be standalone.
But it is a standalone as well.
I guess it is now, but like so is Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. Like now you can play it as like a Wonderlands one shot, whereas before it was just a DLC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's boxed with the first edition if you get the remaster.
Yeah, I mean, Star Fox is great. It was mind blowing to have a parallel at 3D game on the Super Nintendo. I mean, that and Stunt Race FX were like breathtaking for the time.
I didn't play the original Star Fox, I don't think. I mean, I might have, not that I remember, but I did play a decent amount of Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original was great. It was crazy how much it did with the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Didn't have a Nintendo, so.
Yeah, no, I think the system I know the system that I had at the time. I leaned more Sega. So I was living in that world. But there were still some that still some major games that I played over there. I was just kind of late to the party.
Adam says, I thought Star Fox was really cool when I was a kid. Nothing else looked like it at the time. All my friends thought it was stupid. It was not well loved, which was weird.
I wonder if it's just like, being a certain age and it just being like animals, Just kind of like reads very kiddie, which is a Nintendo thing, but
that frog told me to do a barrel roll. But frogs can't barrel roll.
No, foxes can.
Frog. What was his name?
All right.
Frog? Fraud guy.
Cool.
Ribbit.
I was trying to think of a really good name, but I drew.
It makes sense as soon as I hear it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember his name, but I don't ever remember it until then.
It's probably like Gilbert or something, That seems like a good name for a frog. I don't know why. Moving right along. Great TV show that just wrapped up.
I hope they make a video game out of it.
I hope they make a that would
show
be
the game.
They're gonna ratchet and clank the shit out of this, but The Last of Us.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Two of my favorite games.
Hold X
amazing.
To eat strawberry.
I'm really excited for I love the games. I'm really excited for people that have never played the games to experience season 2.
Jim says Slippy Toad.
Slippy Toad.
Oh, you
right.
got me. That's his name.
Fuck.
Slippery little bastard's what he is.
Yeah, I've played through both Last of Us. They're great. I love.
I haven't played that DLC though. I haven't played the in between one.
I didn't, but now that I've watched the show, I feel like I have.
I have not yet watched the show. I'm very sad. We made it about halfway through the first episode, and everybody else in the house was like, "Nope, we're not watching this."
Oh, unfortunate.
I plan to. I just haven't been able to. I don't have a lot of time to watch shows by myself. So
yeah,
I loved watching Ashley watch the show with us or with me because I'm watching the show. I'm like
that's what I was really excited for.
And we got about 3 episodes in. She's like, I want more. I want more. But this is fucking depressing. I feel so miserable watching this show. It's like I'm on edge, and I'm just like, that's the Last of Us world.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're experiencing it.
Yeah. Julia I think it's probably one of her favorite series. Like she replayed to the first one again when the show was about to come out. Not the remaster, but just not the part 1 remaster, but the original remaster on PS5 or on PS4, which is also on PS5. They fucking made it so fucking confusing. But yeah, so she played through again as the show was about to come out, and then we were watching the show, both of us having seen or having played through the games, and we're just like, oh, yes, like it's such a vindicating port. Or
I was very
adaptation.
excited to share that experience. Like I really wanted to watch everyone else watch it and have all those discoveries.
And I also enjoy it happened I think twice where I was out and about and I was like kind of standing in a line and the show, we were like 4 episodes in or 5, whatever, and people were talking about it in the line that I was in, and I was just like, this is the world I want to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Julia says it's the show that I never picked up my phone during. I needed the full experience, which is the only show.
Heck yeah. That was I'm just excited for people who haven't played the game to experience season 2. Like I said, that opening is gonna be so amazing.
I'm bracing myself for. I mean, just the downtime between season 1 and 2 is going to be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nobody look that up.
And the internet. Yeah, don't. Just don't.
Yeah, don't look that stuff up. If you're just watching the show, just please do yourself that favor and let it happen organically.
Or play the video games. I mean,
or play the video games. Yeah, that'll have the same. But if you're not into the
games, form your own opinions.
Yeah.
Options.
Fire Emblem, and this is my fifth no. Okay. But then I realized afterwards that I did play Fire Emblem Three Houses.
So yes. So that knows a yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember you talking about that game, I believe.
I really love games where I can make friends because I don't do it in real life very much.
There's a lot of friends to be made.
Yeah, so Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Says the person that's about to go to a convention called the Gathering of Friends.
Sure, but I don't feel like I'm good at it. But in the video games, I get immediate feedback when I make a friend with somebody. Like Midnight Suns, it's oh, you and Wolverine are best friends now, and he's going to do this thing. And you can be pals and hang out and go play video games. So I'm in on that. I love Fire Emblem. Three Houses.
I played Awakening, Three Houses. I may have played 1 or 2 before that. But yeah, I mean, so much so when the 3DS came out, I bought the blue Fire Emblem 3DS because I was stoked for Awakening. And I worked in video game retail and I didn't have anything else to do with my money. Yeah, great series. If you're in the one thing that I never really liked was the Dynasty Warriors integration.
I didn't love that one.
It never got me.
Besides the Zelda one, I haven't cared about any Dynasty Warriors integration.
How do we have Star Fox on here? But
Dynasty Warriors. It's RJ's fault. I've actually played that one.
How is Star Fox on here but not Dynasty Warriors? They have a million video games.
Right.
Yeah.
Jim, don't you dare. That was the half hour of the podcast.
Midnight Suns. I played an hour. It was mostly cutscenes. I didn't like it.
I am going to bet you did not hit an hour.
Oh, this was on Steam, John. This is fuck, my Steam's not open.
Oh boy.
Does it round it, or does it do minutes below an hour?
I'm gonna open Steam and then the thing's gonna crash.
Oh, John asked about Shadowrun on the NES. Yes, I loved Shadowrun on the NES.
Oh wait, it's not
fantastic.
on there anymore. Hold on.
I don't think I played Shadowrun on the NES.
I think if you go to your profile, it should still show up.
But I do love Shadowrun, so I just never played it on the NES.
Jim says, "Why isn't Kabuki Warriors on this list?" I think you know, Jim. I mean, besides all the horrible stuff, and there's only one of them. I think everything here has at least 3 games in the series, right?
You would think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, well, Ian's looking that up. What about Far Cry?
Yeah, let's say we can do that.
Far Cry was one of the things that got me into level design in video games. Far Cry 2 they gave you a bit of the engine and you could make a map and I could do it on my console. And I was amazed by that. So I spent a very long time doing that. But yeah, I mean, I think I played everything since 2.
Apparently, I've played the least good version of all of them because I've been told that co-op's the best way to play them.
Yes, absolutely.
I've only played them solo.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, I would say probably from 3 on. That's the best way to play it. And I'm not sure if 3 had it. I played, but I like the story 3 was telling. I don't think 2 had it either, but that was still a fun game, and that was more of a level design thing for me.
Adam asked the hard hitting question here. They say, I missed a lot more than I thought. I had the stream open since before you started, before I realized the problem. What is the premise of the live stream? Which I guess we never even talked about the premise of the live stream, and it's that we don't have a premise.
Yeah. The Seinfeld of live streams right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're just talk about whatever. We were in the podcast. We were going through this gamer list of games, and we didn't finish it. So we felt like, even though we didn't finish the podcast, maybe we can at least finish this small list.
Yeah.
I don't know if we will.
I mean, the original concept is, 3 friends where we kind of all we have a lot in common across the 3 of us, but one of us always has, I think, a little bit lesser knowledge on something. So 2 of us are like super into video games. I'm not sure if you can guess which 2. The 2 are super board games, and then the other 2, maybe. And then the other 2, Ian and I, we've just known each other forever, and we have tons of stories.
Super into each other.
1.5 hours of Midnight Suns on record.
I feel like you probably paused it and walked away.
No.
He went and made a sandwich. There's a...
Yeah. I feel like your hours of Midnight Sun are like my hours in an idle game. Someone's like, you have 1,000 hours in this game? I was like, I just leave it running 24 hours a day.
Listen, I played for an hour and a half. I got through one mission, and the rest of it was all cutscenes. And I did not enjoy my time. And that's fine, because I didn't pay for it.
I feel like some of that's on you. That should not have taken that long.
Listen, I wasn't faffing about. The game was faffing about. I was being faffed about.
Adam agreed that the Far Cry map design was a lot of fun, cool things people made. Yeah.
I heard a lot of people complain about one of them, though, because they just took the map and flipped it upside down and like rotated it, and then rebuilt everything on top of it.
And then
that was
notice.
Florida Primal. Yeah. And again, it kind of following in Assassin's Creed footsteps. I would say skip every other one of them.
Yeah, I played a little of Far Cry. I have it down because I played the original more than I think I played any of the other ones. But I think it's just because the PC that I had, it was like installed on it when I had it. Like my friend Stoner had installed some games for me that he had played a bunch of, or that he had. And so I just had some games to begin with, and one of them was the original Far Cry. So I remember playing it, and there's like beast things that like attack you, and like monsters, and the rest of the games are not that. Like, seems like they quickly turned a different corner with that series.
Yeah.
And we're just like, the real monsters is people.
I think the star for that is just the Cry engine. Back then, that engine was just gorgeous. I love what it could do with water, and as someone who loves environment art, that was a great way for me to kind of like break in and start testing the waters.
What's next? Resident Evil.
Oh, we're on Resident Evil. Yeah, I played a lot of Resident Evil.
I played a ton of Resident Evil 1 like on the PlayStation, and hated it. Hated every second of it.
I love the terrible voice acting. I
loved everything, but the control scheme was so offensive.
Yeah,
like the tank controls, because like I had grown up playing Alone in the Dark, which also has that similar tank controls, and it's a lot easier to do that on PC.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I played a little bit of 4. I played through Resident Evil 5 and 6 with RJ because they were both co-op. Oh, yep.
Oh my god!
I love Ian's dedication.
The level of camp in both those games was fantastic, though. I mean, Albert Wesker in Resident Evil 5 and 6 was just like a comic book villain. In all the best ways, and none of the like MCU ways that they're doing now, where they're just like Yes, but they're not actually comic booky. They're just a person.
I think it's going to be interesting. I was listening to the Besties episode about the Resident Evil 4 remake the other day, and they were talking about like how they've remade all of them up to this point except for one for some reason. And they're like,
nothing to improve.
Are they going to redo 5? Because 5 was bogged down like by some really bad racism and other shit.
5 was bad because of the way that it is.
Yeah,
because of the
5 was
game that
bad
it
for a
is.
lot of reasons. But like, do you just let that one die, or do they remake it?
No, I think they stopped before.
I have a lot of opinions about Resident Evil. I think probably the most beloved Resident Evil was the downfall of Resident Evil for a lot of years, and there was something that saved it. And that something is, let me see, yet to come on this list. But yeah, I played even the garbage PlayStation 1 games of Resident Evil. I played Dead Aim. No, it's not Soul Calibur. But yeah, one was great. Controls were pretty rough. 2 controls kind of tightened them up a little bit. But I loved what 2 did. 3, that one might have been my favorite up to that point. And then 4 was fantastic, but it started pushing into that action game. And that's where it got away from them. 5, action game. 6, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I think you fire a rocket launcher into a volcano at Wesker's face at the end of that game.
And I played like a couple minutes of that game, and I was like, nope, not for me. I was done. And then they saved their own ass with 7 because Silent Hills, the playable teaser for Silent Hills came out, and that ended up going nowhere. Konami killed themselves. Kojima left, and Resident Evil was like, hey, wait a minute. I'll be damned. That first-person thing's pretty good. And then they redid their engine and created the wonderful, wonderful game that's Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, because I feel like if they do 5, if they try and remake 5 and then 6, by that point it'll be like 10 years since 7 came out. Are they just gonna fucking remake 7 again and then do 8? Like is this the cycle that we're in? Is that we like eventually it's the snake eating its own tail?
Ian, we've been in this cycle for a little while.
Yeah, and they're already getting to that. So 7 was fantastic, but by the end of the game, you're like, this isn't scary anymore. Like they've already lost you. At a certain point in the game, they remove all of the scary factor, and then it kind of comes back. There's a DLC that's pretty decent, and then they introduce Resident Evil 8 Village. It's a slight scary factor, but that game is a lot of action. They're really doing the sliding back into the Resident Evil 4 and 5 thing that happened after 3.
I mean, I heard 8 was amazing from a lot of people, though.
No, it's great. There is only one spot that I think is like... There's like one section, and it's the smallest section, that is a true like horror game. The whole castle with Lady Dimitrescu and things like that is great. I loved it. But it didn't... It's not like it didn't strike me like a horror game. It struck me like an action game.
But I mean, that's why I love 4. Like, I love the action-y part of it. Like, I'm too scared to play horror games, so that was a selling point for me.
Yeah, and I love. I think I pull toward the horror. If it's labeled as a horror game, I want it to be a horror game.
So I think you're thinking horror as in like spooky and slow, but I feel like action and horror do also go together very well, especially in Resident Evil 4, where it was like everything can kill you. Like it's not just like I shoot this thing and I spin the gun over my shoulder or whatever, bang bang bang, nothing scary. Like any of those things that in that game, because of how those controls and stuff were like all of them were frightening. when I was playing, because it was like any of these things, if they get close to me, will kill me. What's that dude with the chainsaw? Oh, that's fine. I'll just shoot him a couple times. What? No, please stop. No, please stop. No,
yeah,
my head.
And I liked 4, but 4 brought us 5.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah,
that's my problem with it. And I like 8, but what 8 could bring could be another 5, and that's my fear. But yeah, no, I mean, both of the new games, they're on a good track. I absolutely love the RE engine. I love what it can do. So, the longer they have it, the more they're going to push the boundaries of what that engine can do, and that's just going to give us more gross stuff, which is what that thing delivers on, I think.
Yeah.
How about Tony Hawk?
Nope.
Obviously.
Yeah. No, if you know me, that's an absolute yes.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I had the Pizza Hut demo on PS1. And
is it weird that that's where it started for both of us?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I played it so much. That one level over and over again. Just the warehouse over and over. And you think when I got the remaster of 1 and 2 that would mean that I would be good at the game? No, not even a little bit. I'm so bad. I can't I was getting through the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, and then it got to one of the competition ones where you have to rack up a high score and not just do challenges on your own time. Nope. I was I would just have my run I'd fall and I'd be like, well, I fucked it. I'm done. I'm just gonna restart. And eventually I had to stop playing the remaster because I couldn't. I'm just not good at Tony Hawk anymore, or I never was.
I know we had a lot of fun playing Tony Hawk, and yeah, it's cool. Like that Pizza Hut demo with the soundtrack and everything that it had going. I think that hooked us immediately.
John says 1080 on the N64. That was the snowboarding one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was real good.
That was real good. Yeah. I think back then, I was super into Cool Borders, which is the PlayStation version.
The weird issue, there's never really been the definitive snowboarding video game, and I think it's because they're all so heavily dependent on going downhill. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the whole dilemma of a snowboard is that you can't just go wee, you gotta go
Yeah,
you gotta keep going down.
You do the ollie thing, right? Of a million really long downhill levels.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, that would do it.
Shit, I mean that sounds fantastic.
SSX tricky. And that's my answer to all that.
Yeah.
I had fun with that one. I think there's a mobile snowboarding game that's really good called Grand Mountain. I think that does a pretty good job.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of research. I just in my initial play of any snowboarding game, I'm just I wish I could turn around and try that. Nope, gotta keep going. Nope, still going downhill. Okay, cool.
But yeah, Tony Hawk, absolutely. I think it's incredible that we haven't had a remake of Tony Hawk Underground, just Underground 1.
God, I mean, I'm sure that's a licensing nightmare, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because that's when they started just bringing in hey, here's everyone from Jackass and all of the people that you know. Not quite. That's 2, but yeah.
The first one had Bam in it. I think that was it though. But it did have Chad Muska. It had Jamie Thomas. It's a lot of these people are in other games now, and we have a lot of other skateboarding games with Skater XL and Session, and even Skate. Tony Hawk still doing stuff. Skate is coming up. Yeah, I still haven't got to play it. So.
Cannot comment
Thanks,
on whether
EA.
I have or have not gotten to play it.
Hey, thank you, EA. I'm so it's probably because I talked shit for so many years because I didn't make the game, but it's fine.
Gran Turismo. That's the little like vroom vroom cars one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've played it, but I didn't enjoy it. Like, I didn't play more than an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm always
I lived
confused. Like, I guess I know who those games are for, but
I lived in the middle of nowhere. I've done a 250 lap race. I didn't have anything to do that summer. You know what I mean? So, Gran Turismo 2 was a lot of fun for me. I was really into cars back then.
yeah, we have a friend who did like the full Le Mans or whatever, the 24-hour race. The real time one. Yeah. Like I know people who are that.
People are super into it. Like some people will set up like their whole living room and they'll have the steering wheel and everything, and they'll have screens that are like set up like they'll set up a dashboard of a car.
Yeah.
And they'll have like the screens, and they'll have screens above them and below them so they can kind of like visualize it. It's crazy.
To me, it just seems like an insane amount to dedicate to just like one very specific thing. Like it's not even like it's not even like the broad appeal of like a bunch of racing games. It's like usually just like a Gran Turismo or whatever the latest one is. Yeah. But hey, fucking live your life, I guess. It just seems for me, it's just like I don't know, like having the whole setup for. Although I do know someone who has multiple rhythm game cabinets in their garage, and I've played them and they're awesome. Like they have a full DDR cabinet.
Nice. With the bar and everything.
Yeah, it's like a full two-person setup.
For that.
And they just got this new game called Waka, which I think I'm going to be obsessed with because it's really good. It is like a rhythm game, but it like all the other ones I've seen really have this kind of like learning curve to this one, whereas this one is just like a big circle with like then it's all like a touch. It's all like touch. You touch in the like the whole circle. So the whole the thing that happens is when it comes at you, you touch where it shows you on the in the circle, and that's it. Like it's that intuitive. You just like you know.
Nice.
Like
yeah, I can't do rhythm.
Seema loved it. Seema was having the time of her life. She was going crazy.
Yeah, Jonah would really like that.
But looking at Gran Turismo, I haven't played the newest Gran Turismo. I haven't played one probably since PS3, maybe, and it wasn't like serious. But I have played.
They're the ones that just come out every time there's a new console, right?
Pretty much.
Every time there's a new PlayStation, Gran Turismo's like, oh, it looks better now, and I was like, but does it matter? Like you're just like you're in a car that's going fast. Like is it? I don't know.
I think you would like the newest Forza game. To be honest, it's they don't mess around. It's just driving, and you can drive with your friends.
I mean, if I'm not ramping off shit and shooting missiles, I could care less about being in a vehicle.
You're not shooting missiles, but you can ramp off all sorts of shit. It reminds me of... If
it's not Burnout, like, I don't want it. It
reminds me of Burnout. That's the thing. And it has like just tons of different cars that you can... You don't even have to do anything to. You can just... Like, you just kind of find them. Like, actually, there is a thing where you can... find different like hidden cars in different areas of the game. You can just find them, and when you get close to them, it's like, hey, you unlock the car. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not a big racing guy anymore, but I had some fun with the newest Forza.
I don't understand why Rayman's here.
I mean, there's been a bunch in the series.
Rayman Legends was fun.
Yeah, Rayman Legends was fantastic.
Are we counting the Rabbids games as Rayman games?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we're counting every other adjacent game as there's that thing, yeah.
They had Rabbids in what was that snowboard ski like flying squirrel suit paragliding game?
Steep.
Oh, they had
right? Yeah.
They had little snow Rabbids in that game. I don't know if that counts, but I'm throwing it out there.
Way to go, Brain.
I love platformers, and Rayman's a great one.
And it dates back to good platforming days,
And the music levels are so good. Like, I'm not good at rhythm stuff, but I really enjoy.
it's on like whatever, like if you have like a top 10 like platform list, I'm sure it's on there, but I'm sure it's like the bottom of the top for like platformers. You know what I mean? Like when you go platformers, there's like everyone else, and then there's Rayman,
and then there's
all
Croc.
the crap. Yeah. And then Knack, like underneath that.
and Gex is number 1. I don't know why. That just has to be up there.
Gex made himself number 1.
Adam says that they thought Rayman was some fly-by-night nonsense, like it wasn't a real character, low effort, forgettable genre clone, and yet it persisted.
And
like
that's why it won.
You cheat. Like you don't have your limbs aren't attached to your body. You're just cheating at video games. You just didn't want to do the hard work.
It does look like they got halfway through it and they're like, "Yeah, I'm good."
I want to be able to punch stuff. I gotta figure out how the arm works.
The artist is like, "Yeah, but the arm's not connected. You didn't put on the new arm." And he's like, "Yeah, but it like works, right?"
But it's like springy. Right. It's fun.
All right, Castlevania. I think we talked about
it a bunch of.
Yeah. Just.
It's the other half of the Metroidvanias that I do not enjoy or play.
I'm really interested in the Dead Cells DLC, the Castlevania DLC.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's going to be worse than Dead Cells because I like Dead Cells. I don't have to do a bunch of weird backtracking and everything. It's great. It's fast.
Did you have this checked, Ian?
What? No.
Did you have this checked? You've never played, like, not even Symphony of the Night. You hung out with RJ, I know a lot, and he never had you play Symphony of the Night.
As a single player game, we play multiplayer ones. Players with more than one person can play. I never played it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the DLC for Dead Cells looks really amazing, and all the other DLCs have been great.
Yeah.
I haven't really gone back to it in a while, but I think it's just because it's so frantic. We played it on stream once, and we realized how bad I am, and just how bad my reactions are in the moment.
I think
I just refused to move and just died to a thing that was just like, oh hey, good. Oh, I almost jumped on that spike. Oh, the spike hit me. Yeah, and then the spike just like, and then I'm like, oh no, and I jump and I land on the spike again, and I just die immediately. I'm like, well.
I mean, I played it on. It was one of the first games I downloaded when I got the Steam Deck.
Seems
like a great place for it.
Yeah, I love it on my Switch. Like it was my go-to. I have a few minutes and can play something.
Now, if I play through that, does that count as playing a Castlevania game?
Ooh.
I'd say if you play through that DLC, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the DLC maybe, yeah.
I mean,
all right,
official,
Soul Calibur.
It's an official thing. Yes.
Yeah. Back when I wanted to be good at fighting games, I played a lot of Soul Calibur, but I was never good at it.
I liked what they did, like back in the day. I think it was like PS3 and 360. PS3 had Darth Vader as a character, and 360 got Yoda, I think it was.
Yeah.
I always thought that was really cool.
Well, yeah, there was also... Yeah, Soul Calibur 4 was Link, Kratos, and... who the fuck did Xbox get?
Master Chief?
No, someone.
It was a horror movie thing, wasn't it?
It was something where you're like, yeah, I mean, I guess. Soul Calibur 4. I also like every title of all of the Soul Caliburs. It's.
I usually think it was before that time of like video games giving you like, oh, if you bought it at this retailer you got this, but at this retailer you got this. It was like before that, and I just thought that was interesting that they were partnering with the console, the like the system that they purchased on.
Fucking Spawn.
Oh yeah.
What does Spawn have to do with that?
It was Soul Calibur 2, not 4, I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really neat.
I mean, Soul Calibur generated one of my favorite things ever, which is the Voldo dancing videos. Like people would synchronize dance with Voldo the different songs.
Nice.
And they do it in like 2 players, so they have like 2 people doing the exact same dance. It was amazing.
Yeah, I played a lot of Soul Calibur. I assume probably 4. I liked the Soul Calibur series because there was like weird things you could do, like Ring Out. Like Ring Out was such like a weird concept for most fighting games. Most fighting games were just like knock them till their health bar's down. This one's just like just push them over the edge. Just give them a little nudge. Yeah. And if like you can just catch someone doing something, and you're just like, and you nudge them at the right second, and they go, ah.
You're like,
or even so far as it's like it's just a little ring, and then you see them just fall like a foot and be like, haha, I've beaten you, and you just like.
All right. SMT. Wait, do we even know what that stands for?
I don't even know what that was.
Okay, Ian.
Didn't mark it.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And yes, I've played a few of them, and I don't like them.
Sports media technology, or surface mount technology, or Society for Music Theory is also there.
Oh, that's a good one.
5th result, Shin Megami Tensei.
There it is. Yeah, I this is what made me not like Persona, is because I played several of these and I was like, it's too much for me.
You'll never guess what made me not like Persona. We already talked about this. Yeah, it's Persona.
Yeah, it's Persona. But I don't know. But Persona 5 really brought me around. But I don't know if I'll ever be interested.
Didn't we already do Persona, or is that coming up on the list?
Yeah.
No, we already did.
Yeah, okay. It's literally just one column over to the left.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right,
yeah. We already know.
We're done with Shin Megami Tensei. Yakuza.
I have played some of the Yakuzas. I've heard they've gotten fantastic. And I heard the new like turn-based RPG one is bonkers.
Like a Dragon.
The Like a Dragons are good.
It's so fun. And they've said, hey, that's what we're doing going forward. And I'm like, yes. I know you can't see because my camera's not working, but I was pointing. I was like, yes. They did a great job. I've played a few Yakuzas before that, and I thought they always kind of had some fun.
Yeah,
Ian, you'll hate it. There's cutscenes, a healthy amount of them. Yeah. But John, you'll love it. There's cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
There's also they have cool like little idle games that happen. So they have like a mini game where in Like a Dragon where you make money. You own a business. And you can buy other businesses and assign people to work the businesses. It's a whole separate thing that's just like engrossing.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I need to dig into them.
I need to
Command. Yep. Command and Conquer.
This isn't Come and Conks.
I don't think it's Come and Conks, but
that's a different series.
Hold on, let me look that up.
I have that one marked too, surprisingly. I don't know.
Now I'm on a list.
I have played a lot of Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer 2 Red Alert is maybe one of my favorite real-time RTS games ever.
The sounds in that game was like and then the fucking actual was it full motion video? Yeah. Well, which is that the one that Tim Curry's in?
Yep.
Space.
He's just making his rounds.
Red Alert was like one of the first like PC games that I ever played. I think it was Red Alert and Full Throttle were like the first 2 PC games that I remember playing. And then one of the Star Wars shooters where you're some dude named Kyle or something. I don't know, Dark Force. I don't remember.
That was Star Wars Kyle's Alliance. Adam in the chat said that he loved the business management in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, and they thought they knew what Yakuza games would be like, then played Like a Dragon kind of as a joke. Absolutely loved it. Then bought Ishin. Absolutely bonkers games like obnoxious soap operas with an RPG.
Yep. Nailed it.
See, I'm more okay with that. I feel like I would have more fun with that style of game than the takes itself seriously and still gives me a fuck ton of cutscenes.
Yeah,
Like,
Yakuza.
everything about this is serious, and I'm like, then let me play it. If we're in a hurry, why was there 4 cutscenes between me choosing this mission and me going into the fucking portal?
Yeah, Like a Dragon is bonkers. It's just ridiculous. Your main character is basically playing a character from Dragon Quest, and he specifically says Dragon Quest. So yeah, but yeah, I played some Command and Conquer. I think Red Alert on PC, like everyone else in the world.
What is
I
Saga?
I don't know what Sega is.
I had to look it up,
Saga.
and I've never played it. Never played it, but I'm excited to hear about people who may have played it.
I think Red Alert was the only one I played. It's just, yeah.
Saga
I
Tiered?
assumed it just came installed with Windows.
Yeah.
From what I know, I don't know that one I would have gone out and bought that game. I don't think it's something that my mother would have been like, yes, you can have this.
Oh no,
Simulator. I don't know how it ended up on my computer, but I'm glad it did.
No, it had horrible copyright protection. Like, it was one of the worst games early on because, like, if your disc got damaged, you couldn't play it anymore.
Oh,
so that's why I started like getting into pirating video games, because I was like, I can't play this fucking game that I bought.
Allegedly
bought. Yeah, I've never played any of the Saga Frontier games.
So yeah, Saga is a science fantasy role-playing video game by Square Enix.
That checks out.
Yeah. It originated on the Game Boy in '89, all the way to 2019, Imperial Saga Eclipse. I'm not sure if any of that was. I'm not sure if that came out. But early on, yeah, it was talking about Final Fantasy Legends, which there were 3 of. So I think it kind of shares probably that style. It was probably a Final Fantasy team looking to kind of break out in a different direction. But no, it's one of the. Let me see, how many did I have here? 4. One of the 4 I never played.
Jeez. These last 4, I got nothing. I don't remember ever playing a Total War game.
I've played a bunch of Total War.
I played a little Total War.
At some point, I looked at all of those and I was like, yeah, I don't need them anymore.
They're a lot.
Yeah. Which one did I play? There was a
Phantasy Star.
I think I only played PSO, Phantasy Star Online, on the Dreamcast.
Right.
I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started to try to get into these when I was playing. It was kind of late. I think it was like late PS3 when I was like, let me check into that. And I was completely aware of like Phantasy Star 2 that a lot of people were, hyped on, and then Online was out at the time. And I think it might have been Online. Someone mentioned it to me if I wanted to play it, and I was like, oh yeah, let me see what else they have. Let me see if it's my kind of thing.
Total War is a Warhammer thing. I forgot about that.
Well, no, they did a Total War Warhammer game, but Total War was its own.
Yeah,
that's the only one I'd heard of then.
I think the only Total War game that I bought was Shogun. I played it a decent amount, and it was fun. It's fun.
I've heard the Warhammer one is really good.
Oh yeah, Fantasy. Adam says I played PSO on the GameCube and ordered a modem and custom keyboard from overseas. I was young and had my first real job. Yeah, Phantasy Star Online is the one where they made those like full keyboard controllers.
Yeah,
just so you could play an online game on the GameCube. I remember.
Hell yeah,
those are ridiculous.
And then we saved the absolute best for last.
Oh, Parasite Eve was so good. I only played the first one. Wow. I didn't know there were more in the series.
Yeah, they did.
I have no concept of what this is.
Okay, it is.
There's a Resident Evil like on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's
I would
basically
not have guessed that.
Resident Evil if Square Enix made it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Any of these series where I'm like, this seems like I would guess Square Enix game.
I have a decent amount of PlayStation 1 games still. Not too many. I had a massive collection. But it's dwindled down to a small stack. And Parasite Eve is one that's still in there. It would just be great to see something like this make a comeback.
Yeah. Hey, we did it.
We did it.
We got through one column.
Wait, we don't have I don't have a counter of how long this has taken. What day is it?
I don't know about this one's been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we've been live for an hour and 56 minutes, but the first bit of that was just on the starting screen, and then some of that was also before we started doing this, and we were just trying to figure out the shit.
All right. Well,
but yeah,
this might be was this the fastest one we've done?
No, I think both the other ones were a bit faster because they were both under 2 hours for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Okay, well.
Page. Hey, look.
Womp womp.
It's me.
We did what we could.
We did good.
Yeah. We have one more section of this to go, and then on to God knows what. But there's some really good ones in this last section.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about.
I don't know if that's true, but... No,
we're good.
We're good.
Which will be what, next Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jay will have a face instead of just an icon.
Let me think. I'm trying to think about next Thursday. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Sorry.
If not, Jay will just be an icon, and then I'll just pump in the audio from this episode for Jay's audio for that episode. So you'll just hear him talking about whatever.
I'll just patch in wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing. Yeah, guys, I can barely hear you. Kind of situation. That'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, this went 100% smoothly. No issues, start to finish. We are just so good at this.
Perfect.
Good job, everybody. Everyone involved. People in the chat. Me for screwing it up somehow. I still have no idea how this hasn't worked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll figure it out for next time, though, for sure.
Figure some of this out. Let's not say we're going to figure all this out. Let's give ourselves some. Let's be real here.
I'm going to figure this camera situation out. I'm like, I know this thing works.
That'll be
one
thing.
Figure out the camera. Yeah, you're just going to be the animated GIF again. We'll just make your mouth move anytime you talk. And
Can we bring in my B&B character and just...
Yeah.
And I'll be out gathering of friends on my laptop in a hotel, so I expect to be the problem next week.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, the second live stream is shaping up to be an exciting one.
Yeah.
Usually when people start a live stream, they're like, okay, let's nail down all the details. And then they're like, okay, and what about next week? Is next week good for you too? And everyone's like, yeah, perfect. Nope, next week is not secured for us. There might be someone in a hotel room. We don't even know. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're adults. Scheduling things hard.
It is. Really hard.
Well, we will hopefully see you then. Or maybe we won't. But next time we see you, we will hopefully have figured out some of this nonsense. And
Ian, we don't actually get to see them. Next time they get to see us.
We should flip it around, though. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Like
where everyone just shows us their video.
Is that where we have to... I feel like we have to go to, like...
This feels like Omegle.
Yeah, there'll definitely be people jerking off on stream.
All right, Omegle.
All right, and
we're done.